Welcome everyone, Age of Noob here covering the newly released Age of Empires 4 gameplay from the fan preview. In this series, we'll be looking at each Age's gameplay individually. The second of the bunch, of course, is the Feudal Age. The Feudal Age footage we were shown were of the Mongols versus the Chinese. And the first thing that hits us immediately is that we can already see that there's a lot more variety of military units running around. We would normally see this sort of activity in the Castle Age in Age of Empires 2. A feature that is unique to the Mongols is the relocation of their base once their resources are depleted. We already knew that there will be some asymmetry in civilizations and how they will play out in Age of Empires 4, and so far the Mongols are the most extreme example. My guess would be that the Mongol player would use its mobility to gather resources and raid all over the map, while the other civilization would try to survive the onslaught until the late game. This is all speculation on my end though, as we still do not know how the gameplay will pan out between these different civilizations. We also can see a new fire mechanic in which buildings are very clearly labeled as being on fire. This interaction probably has some loot mechanics for nomadic raiders or damage over time perhaps. We're yet to see its implications. Also, if you'd like to always be up to speed with Age of Empires 4 content and news, please consider subscribing and giving the thumbs up, it really helps out the channel. We also see trading for the first time to what seems to be with a neutral market. This could mean that trading in Age of Empires 4 is not limited to only team games, but once again, it's just a guess for now. Another very interesting feature is the new fog of war and mechanics of trees and forests. In previous Age of Empires games, you could simply not pass through woodlines or forests. However, it seems that you can not only hide in between trees, but you can also ambush your opponents for a shock charged attack. This might be a Mongol-only specific feature in the game, but nevertheless, this should have big implications on the open battlefield and should yield some exciting gameplay. One quick note here is that you can see a hero unit called Hardened Khan, which is described as ranged cavalry, enhancer, and signal arrow bonuses. This pretty much confirms our earlier suspicions that certain hero units can affect the units around them, and it seems like each civilization will get said units to heavily impact a skirmish with the enemy. We'll have to wait and see the details on this one. And finally, the Viper, who has played the alpha and beta versions of the game numerous times in the past 2 years, mentioned that Age of Empires 4 is a much faster paced game than Age of Empires 2. And judging by the amount of military units, the mobility, and the size of the armies this early on in the game confirms this. Even though it's only the Feudal Age, there's already a ton of action going on at this stage of the game, at least for the Mongols. Well, this wraps up the first look of Feudal Age in Age of Empires 4, and be sure to check out the Dark, Castle, and Imperial Age first looks on our channel as well. This is Age of Noob, hope you all enjoyed this summary video, and see you all in the next one.